So we now have to create the clasp. All right, so to do that, I am going to basically just go into Create Torus, and we're going to click on this plane, and it says place the center point of my torus, which is right here, and specify the diameter of my circle, which is right about here. And now, automatically, Fusion is assuming that we want to cut this shape into this shape, and instead of doing that, what I want to do is join it, like so, and we're going to press OK. And we have our clasp now. Okay, that's sort of what we've got as a shape. Now, I'm not sure that I like that too much because it looks like that arm is sticking out, but I think we're good there. So, yeah, I think we are. So the next thing we do is we're going to turn off our canvas, and there we go. There's our starfish pendant. I'm going to zoom out a touch, and let's rotate that so that it goes up. There we go, and that's our finished product. So basically you'd put the chain there and you could put that around your neck. Now of course when you go and 3D print this out, it's going to end up being a piece of plastic, but the fact is that you can bronze stuff like that. We just don't have the capabilities here. So the final step is we're going to go to 3D print, and we're going to make sure that send to 3D print utility isn't checked. And we're going to make sure that our refinement is on high, and we're going to click on here, and we're going to find that because it's all curvy and stuff, we're going to have lots of triangles in here. Yep, you can see this is actually so dark that it looks like a solid object, but as you zoom in, you can start to see all the triangles that this object is made out of. You know, that's cool. Anyways, we're going to press OK here. And we're going to call this Starfish, like so. And we're going to go to Save. We're going to zoom out now because we'll go back to here. And we're just going to close this down now, like so. And you'll find here my Starfish STL. That's the file that we actually send to the 3D printer. Go into Preview here. And there it is. Okay, there's my starfish pendant. And you can sort of see here that we've kind of captured a little bit of that radial inward symmetry a bit. If you don't like the way that the shape is gone, then one of the things that you can do is play around with the various commands and sort of move lines over. Here, if you don't like this, for example, because it does look like it's curved in a little bit on this leg, we can actually go in and move this line back and pull the inside part, the line that goes along here, outwards, and it should unfold that. But this actually looks quite nice, I would say. So that's sort of what we would do here. So I think I'm going to close the ends of the video, and we'll go on to another freeform project. We're just going to revisit the starfish pendant for a second. All I can say is that I tried printing it out, and for one reason or another, the little clasp that you attach the starfish to on the Lulzbot printers doesn't print out very well. It may print out well on the Tinkerine, but just in case it doesn't, I figure we might as well talk a bit about how we might be able to modify this, because I have to tell you that the first fix I thought I would try and do here is make the clasp larger, right? But when you take a look at what the STL file looks like that this produces, it'll certainly produce a clasp that will work and print out. But when you look at it, as a starfish pendant, this thing looks terrible. Okay, it's like the clasp is bigger than the starfish, you know. So I'm gonna have to go with that's a big fail at the moment. If you like it, then by all means go print it out. I won't say anything, but to me this does not look right. So I figured that we might as well use some of the timeline features in this design program to see whether or not we can do go off in a separate direction, let's say. So you've got this really cool movie thing going on here where you can go all the way back to the beginning and play through your steps. So we inserted a canvas and we created a form, and we basically did some things to that form. You know, we chopped off the top, we put a torus there, which didn't print out. You know, I made it a bit thicker. I didn't do this in the original video. This was the second try at getting it to work. I didn't like the way it looked. And even after I moved it and combined it and stuff, I said, I think we better go back. So I think what we could do is you can go back in time until you get to the point where you broke off. And what I'm going to try doing instead of going and trying to put a clasp in here, I'm going to see whether or not I can 3D print out a hole. And then that way you can put like a piece of thread through it or something like that. Something, or a chain, something to get it to work properly. All right, so for that, we are going to try something else. Oh, even better, a metal ring. If we put a little hole in here and you can put a metal ring in, and then of course everything should work out perfect. So yeah, I think the hole is the way to go here. So what we do is we want to create a center diameter circle in the same plane that we're working in, and I want to make it tiny. Okay, so let's say that we're going to make this 1.5 millimeters, like so, and we're going to click on the circle, and that's it. We're done. I'm going to press escape to get out of that tool, and we are going to zoom in like so. We're going to click on the circle. We're going to go to create and extrude, and I'm just going to choose, you know, like 30 millimeters for this, something way bigger than what we need. And just to give you an idea what I'm doing, that is our okay, so the next thing I will do is we're going to go to the move command now, and we're going to click on our body, and we're going to move it about right here. All right, like so. And I'm going to put it down a little bit, because if we put the hole too close to the tip here, we may have trouble printing it. So while it might be a little unsightly, I'm going to see whether or not we couldn't try putting it right here, for example. All right, so next step is we're going to press return on that and just see where that got us. Excellent. And so we're going to go to move again, and we're going to click on our cylinder, and this time we're just going to push it all the way through the object like so. I'm going to press return to that, and then it's just a matter of doing a combine here. So we're going to go modify, combine, except this time of course it'll be a cut. Going to select our body and now our tool. I have no need to keep the tool, so it's okay if it stays red here. And we're going to press OK. And we're going to go back, and hopefully now I have a hole in my starfish. And I think that's pretty much all we need. So I'm going to go to 3D print, and we don't want a utility. We're going to click on the object. I'm going to wait because there's a lot of triangles in this. 191,000 triangles approximately. That's what happens when you freeform model. And we're going to press OK. We're going to call this Starfish underscore fixed underscore 2, because you notice here I have Starfish not so fixed. And we're going to go here, and I'm going to print this out and see whether or not this works. If it works, then this is the design we're going to go with. But as you can tell, sometimes when you print out objects, you can't exactly expect that your first design is going to work. So just like the scientific method, where you make a hypothesis, you test a hypothesis, and you revise a hypothesis, in this case, you make a design, you test a design, and then you revise a design, and you do it over again. So this looks like it'll work. And so let's get out of here. I'll cut this video off, and we'll go to the printer, and hopefully it works.